term burnout is something that a lot of us hear and have heard over the years, especially in context of working full time, working your 9 to 5, working in an office environment, or to be fair, even if you don't work in an office, praise to God, I can say that I've never been able to relate to the term burnout, especially in the context of my full time job. The one and only time that I did, it was actually to do with my passion project. What's good, my people? Welcome back to the channel. Big up everyone that tuned into the previous vlog, the first video, I should say. As you can see from the background, I'm in the beautiful Turkey. The city, excuse my pronunciation, is called Fethiye. Absolutely sensational. I've been here for 2 days now, and wow, the vibes are vibing. Let me tell you that for free. I don't know if you would remember, but if you watched my previous vlog, if you haven't, go do that right now. Actually, no, watch this first. Make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. Then go back and watch the vlog that I released before this video. There was actually a time where I was working from home. I was on my laptop and I was like, yo, I'm kind of tempted. Should I, you know what I'm saying? Should I book a holiday? I haven't left British soil in like 6-7 months or whatever. And I caved in. So we're here right now. The vibe of today's video is a bit different. It's an honest one as always, but most importantly, it's a vulnerable one. And I laugh because saying, as a man, how are you on camera getting vulnerable? You know them ones. If we're not venting to each other, if we're not ranting to each other, then who are we ranting to? A lot of people may know me from the podcast H2. Shout out to my boy Hussein. Hussein and I began that project in November of 2019 and it finished around summer of 2023. And today's video is diving a bit more into that journey, the project ending and what the ending taught me. Most importantly, highlighting kind of like burnout when it comes to your passion project and the importance of being self-aware and allowing yourself to be human. So let me give you lot the rundown, let's call it. So in November of 2019, myself and my friend Hussein, we started a podcast, H2. Looking back, I have such positive, such happy connotations of that whole project altogether. First and foremost, I was, alhamdulillah, able to build such a strong foundation with a very good friend of mine, and was able to work on something so fun and so vibrant and something so unique, and was able to not only have fun but able to provide so much value to those who come from mine and Hussein's and or should I say similar communities and backgrounds, and able to talk on issues and conversations that really did affect people like him and I. The podcast started off very strong. I remember us working so hard for years on end, but that first year, boy, Nucci, if you're watching right now, brother, that first year grind, bro, it took us 1 whole year to reach 1,000 subscribers. It may not sound deep to a lot of people, but we actually put in a lot of work, because don't forget, at that time, the pandemic was in full swing. Like, I'm talking full entire lockdown. So things were very difficult. We weren't able to get on guests when we wanted. We had to film at the back of, like, big up Hussein, man. We filmed in his garden a few times. We filmed in the car once or twice, I think. We filmed in his bedroom. Pause. You know what I'm trying to say? Actually, wait, that's a major pause. But I look back and like I said, I'm so happy with the results. I'm so happy with what it done. But most importantly, I'm so happy that we were able to build something so monumental and to help so many people from our backgrounds, like I said a moment ago. It was great because not only was it fun, not only did it allow us to build our personal brands, but I think one of the best things was we were able to collaborate with so many cool people. We had Diary Room, the M Word podcast, Mizian, our dear brother Sayed Amar Nakshwani, an absolute legend in his own right. So many other people that we've collaborated with as well. From strength to strength, week after week and month after month, slowly but surely, it started to feel less fun. The burnout really started to kick in, and at some points, it really felt like a chore. And that is where you could say the inspiration for this video came around. And life in general, as you get older, I'm sure my fellow 29-year-olds, my 30-year-olds watching this right now can relate, that as you get older, your priorities do change, and sometimes how you feel about something X amount of years ago may not be how you feel about it going forward. One thing that I can say is Hussein and I both had aspirations to really make this project a success, but after a while, and this is something that Hussein has been vocal about as well in the past, I guess you can say more from his side than mine, but I did feel it as well, of course. I guess you could say there was that feeling of not feeling that fire in your belly anymore. For the sake of consistency and wanting to, not give up, and the whole thing about wanting to achieve our goals, I guess you could say we kept it running for a good little while until it got to the point where I guess you can say the elephant in the room became, like for example, when it came to recording days, not knowing what is it that we want to talk about, not really thinking, okay, this thing's trending right now, but what have I actually got to say about it that adds value? And that actually became a large component of it. What is it that I can say about this particular topic that makes it worthwhile, makes it worth watching? And don't forget, guys, one of the main reasons why H Squared popped was because of the fact that it mainly took off during kind of like the 2020 to 2022 period when COVID was at its high and then started to calm down a bit after that. It got to the beginning of 2023. We just decided that, you know what? Let's, for the first time ever, let's take a bit of a break. Let's just focus on our lives. And when the time is right, we'll rekindle and come back to it. And I'm so glad we did that because it gave us an opportunity to breathe. So after taking a break for a few months, the month of Ramadan actually went past during that. Ramadan went, as all my fellow Muslims will know, it's a month where a lot of Muslims would use it as an opportunity to kind of like recollaborate and cleanse themselves, their mind, their souls, and just become, at one again, become at peace again, I should say. We got back in the studio, made a couple more episodes. I think it was 2 more. And then that feeling, I guess you could say, never really went. If I know that someone that I call a brother is feeling a certain type of way about something, I'm not going to make them feel like pressured or emotionally blackmailed or like just overall make them feel bad about it. It was clear that, again, as I said a few moments ago, that fire in the belly had sort of gone. And that's when I guess you could say where we decided, you know what, we had a good run. It done what it had to do. At the time, Hussein was, his career was doing great things, mashallah, and still is, man. The stars aligned the way they did. And I guess we both decided that the best thing was to stop forcing it. And if that feeling just isn't there, then just allow it. Like, we had a good run. We had great fun. It opened doors for us. Like, for example, I was able to, host my own show on the BBC Asian network. That was, alhamdulillah, to this day, one of my proudest milestones. Hussein, not only then, but also now is doing great things in the content world, career-wise, with his own projects. And, as a friend, like, all you want is to see your brothers succeed in their own right. It would have been great to see the pod do what we wanted it to do when we initially started. That's when tawakkul comes in. That's when your trust in God comes in. If it didn't work the way it was supposed to, that's okay because God has other plans for us and that is totally fine. So going back to the title of this video, we're talking about burnout, we're talking about passion projects, but if there's definitely something for sure that I want everyone to take away from this video, let it be this. It's okay to hang up your boots sometimes. It's okay to say to yourself, to your co-founders, to your business partners, to whoever it is, this situation is no longer serving me the way it once did. Being yourself, as cringy and cliche as it may sound, will always be your superpower. For me, one of the things that I loved the most about doing that project is not only was it great fun, not only was I able to collaborate with so many cool creators and YouTubers and public figures and influencers or whatever you want to call them, but most importantly, we were able to build such a nice community of people that had the opportunity to relate to the things that we were talking about. It was such a nice feeling to be, you're out and about in London, or you're going to work, or you're out with your friends getting something to eat, or you're at a lounge, or you go to like a religious event, or wherever you may be, and someone will bump into you. Oh, yo, bro, I just want to say I love what you do. You guys, there was this one episode. Like, there were times where people were messaging us saying, like, the content got them through depression and they were in a really bad place, or they had lost like a grandparent and they were going through a really bad situation in their life mentally, but it was the content, the podcast that kept them going and gave them something to look forward to, etc., etc. And I don't say that, because I was popular and I wanted fame. Nah, I couldn't care less about that. But it was so nice to be able to be, I guess you could say, the voice of reason for so many people. But honestly, big up all the podcast supporters, because it was you guys that kept us going, and it was you guys that made it worth it, because your interaction and the love that you showed allowed us to become what we were. That's it from me for today, guys. I want you all to take something, even one thing, away from this. And if you are comfortable, please do share that in the comment section. let myself, let all the rest of the viewers know, what is it that you took away from this? Is burnout something that you can relate to? If it is, what have you done to tackle this? What are your best tips to anyone else who may be experiencing burnout? But most importantly, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace.